So the Messi and Ronaldo era, it's slowly but surely passing the torch, right? And we are witnessing the emergence of two absolute giants stepping onto football's biggest stage, Erling Haaland and Kylian MBAPPÉ. Now, as Norway and France prepare to completely collide in the upcoming FIFA World Cup, we are going to use this explainer to explore a much deeper question. Beyond the insane goals and the massive contracts, who is literally numerologically built for this exact moment? We're going to dive into the stats, uncover the money, and really break down their DOMS-NUMS energy profiles to see exactly what makes these two tick. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The next great rivalry. 2. By the numbers. 3. The financial empires. 4. DOMS-NUMS character profiles. 5. Analyzing the life graphs. And finally, 6. Defining the next era. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The next great rivalry. Haaland versus Mbappé.
On one side, you have Kylian Mbappé. Born in Paris, he is basically the ultimate symbol of speed, creativity, and just explosive attacks. He's France's undisputed leader, a World Cup winner, and has this incredible tournament pedigree. Then, on the other side, Erling Haaland. Born in Leeds but raised in Brighton, he represents just pure, unadulterated strength, lethal finishing, and overwhelming physical dominance. He is Norway's absolute goal machine, and he's spearheading this incredibly hungry new golden generation of Norwegian talent.
Section 2. By the numbers. Stats and records on the pitch.
48. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the exact number of games it took Erling Haaland to reach 50 Premier League goals. To put that into perspective for you, absolutely no player in the history of the league has even come close to this pace. He completely shattered a 30-year-old record. I mean, Andy Cole took 65 games to do it, and absolute legends like Salah and Torres, they took 72. Haaland's sheer goal-scoring volume in such a tiny window is, well, it's just unmatched. But then, you look over at Kylian Mbappé, and his career statistics are just ridiculous. He became the youngest player to reach 400 career goals since Pelé. Pelé! He is Paris Saint-Germain's all-time record goal scorer with 256 goals, and he did that before leaving at just 25 years old. And his World Cup pedigree, it's staggering. He was the top scorer at the 2022 tournament, taking home the Golden Boot with 8 goals. By age 24, he already had 12 total World Cup goals to his name. That puts him right behind absolute mythical legends of the game like Messi, Fontaine, Müller, Ronaldo, and Klose.
Section 3. The financial empires. Wealth and value.
So, financially, Mbappé operates on a completely different planet. His estimated 2025 gross income is sitting around a cool 110 million euros. But here's the really fascinating part. It's the architecture of this wealth. You know, most elite players rely heavily on linear salaries and brand endorsements, which pretty much dry up the minute they retire. Mbappé, though, he is strategically shifting his portfolio toward compounding equity. Right now, roughly 40% of his gross income comes from off-pitch sources and equity holdings, all patiently structured by his family-controlled investment team. It's a total game changer. And the sheer commercial leverage he brings to a club is just massive. Just by being there, his presence generated an unbelievable 175% bump in broadcast and TV rights revenues for PSG, not to mention a 67% jump in ticketing revenues. He isn't just a world-class player, he is literally an economic engine. It's no wonder he's maintained a market value above 150 million euros for years.
Section 4. DOMS-NUMS, character profiles, and the numerological core.
All right, looking at his number triangle and core numbers, Erling Haaland's destiny number reveals something super interesting. He is fundamentally lucky. However, his challenge energy shows he carries a lot of heavy, stressful responsibilities. His DOMS-NUMS profile actually notes an excess of luck, which can sometimes create this false sense of always having a safety net. And get this, his master numbers show he really dislikes planning. He prefers to just let his natural talent take the wheel, even though he secretly carries a ton of business ideas around in his head. Now contrast that directly with Kylian Mbappé's number triangle. His core numbers and destiny energy scream that he is a meticulous planner and a deeply business-minded person. Unlike Haaland, Mbappé's challenge energy reveals he actually lacks natural luck, so his profile advises him to do charity work from the heart to generate that luck, and wouldn't you know it, that perfectly aligns with him donating 100% of his national team bonuses to charity. For Mbappé, planning and strict structure are exactly what make him feel secure.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that we are dealing with two completely different types of energy. Mbappé operates on planning, immense discipline, and this business-oriented leadership energy. He's carefully constructing his own luck. Haaland, on the other hand, operates on raw natural momentum, physical strength, and inherent luck, all while balancing a much heavier emotional burden. We aren't trying to say who is superior here. What we're seeing are two completely different, unique pathways to greatness.
Section 5. Analyzing the life graphs, timing and momentum. Now, if you aren't familiar, a life graph is this incredible DOMS-NUMS tool that tracks a person's energy cycles over their entire lifetime. Think of it like a map. It shows us high-energy peak zones, low transition periods, someone's baseline soul satisfaction, and what we call their bloom type. Basically, it tells us exactly when a person's natural momentum is going to rise and fall. When we put their life graph charts side by side, the visual difference is honestly pretty staggering. You've got Haaland over on the left and MBAPPÉ on the right. Just look at how those energy lines completely diverge. They are operating on entirely different energetic timelines, hitting their absolute peak zones and their lowest transition valleys at completely different stages of life. And this perfectly highlights their distinct bloom types. Erling Haaland is what we categorize as an early bloomer. His chart is super volatile, with these really sharp, rapid spikes. He hit a massive early peak at age 14 and basically waits until age 44 for his next major summit. Kylian Mbappé, however, is a mid-path bloomer. His chart is way more deliberate. It builds steadily and powerfully over decades toward this absolutely massive plateau peak right around age 49.
Let's trace Mbappé's specific timeline so you can see how this builds. After a pretty steep drop to a floor around age 20, his energy begins this very slow, highly calculated climb. By age 31, he enters a low rising state, and he's just going to keep building this incredible momentum until he hits maximum peak energy at 49. And then, he plateaus right at the top for an entire decade. It is a perfect, energetic mirror of his calculated long-term business planning.
Now, Haaland's momentum timeline is a lot sharper. After that huge initial peak at 14, he hit a low falling transition phase around age 22. His energy is going to remain relatively low and transitional for a while until it sharply spikes back to a peak rising state at age 44, before falling pretty much straight down to the floor at age 50. His energy is raw, it's spiky, and it's explosive. Honestly, it's exactly like his playing style on the pitch. Section 6. Defining the next era. Norway versus France. So, let's bring all this metaphysical data right back to the pitch because look, football isn't just played on spreadsheets or energy charts, it's decided on the grass. But the data perfectly frames this upcoming epic clash between Norway and France. When these two nations finally meet, it's a massive clash of energetic balance. France brings this incredible experience, insane squad depth, and tournament pedigree, all led by a highly secure, calculated planner in Mbappé. Norway completely counters that with raw hunger, explosive momentum, and an emerging golden generation, spearheaded by an inherently lucky, heavily burdened early bloomer in Haaland.
Messi and Ronaldo defined an entire era of this sport. There's no denying that. Mbappé and Haaland, they might very well define the next one. But as we've seen throughout this explainer, greatness isn't something you just inherit from the guys who came before you. It is built, completely uniquely, through timing, opportunity, your personal energy, and brutal consistency.
So, keeping in mind their mind-blowing on-pitch stats, the incredibly different architecture of their wealth, and this deep, contrasting insights from their DOMS-NUMS life graphs, I gotta ask you, who do you believe carries the stronger energy into this World Cup moment? Is it Mbappé, Haaland, France, Norway? Let us know down in the comments who you think actually holds the ultimate energetic advantage.